Good evening, Gills fans, and welcome back to Gills in the Blood TV again. Thursday match preview ahead of Bury at home Saturday. But first, I'm going to ask Boz about Tuesday night that you decided not to go to.
Just didn't fancy. I thought we'd be alright after the night.
58p a goal, I think someone worked it out on Twitter. It was absolutely ridiculous. It was
Going by match day night, it still was a chat, whereas every time.
I think I said to Simon at the first half, it was akin to the Chatham pre-season friendly, but that was at 4-1, and not for 2 seconds did we think there was going to be another 7 goals in the second half. Quite simply, the stupidest, most outlandish, freakish, weirdest 90 minutes of football I've ever seen. I know Scott Wagstaff, we've got Medway Messenger here, Lovell, Gills need to take care, which is obviously in reference to, I'm going to call it slightly haphazard defending second half, because that's the politest way of putting it, from both sides. Wagstaff won't dwell on FIFA-like display. That's literally what me and Simon said in the ground. It just seemed that every time someone had a shot, it went in. Apart from, ironically, the penalty that DJ Alker slapped into the Raynham end.
It's bad, wasn't it?
It's just that thing about him again where he comes across as very casual sometimes. Because he's hit the target twice from 25, 30 yards. All right, the keeper's not covered himself in glory, you've seen on the highlights, but the wind weren't that bad. And I don't think the ball did enough, but they're only kids. That's the thing, both sides were full of kids. Apart from the 22 cap remaining international they had up front, AJ Popper or something, who our Tannoy announcer kept trying to call away.
Don't once again though make me laugh about his under 23 stuff. Last season Peter Crouch played and Swansea had a 38-year-old goalkeeper.
Was that Guy Tremel? And I think Shay Given played for Stoke last year, and if I've looked this week, I think Ibrahim Afellay, Saeed Berahino and Charlie Adam all played for Stoke.
Oh, they're all
Dutch international, England under 21 international, Berahino's been, and Charlie Adams a full Scotland. It's an absolute joke. I know it's the same as like in the England under 21s, you can play 3 over age, but there's got to be some sort of boundaries when you're playing blokes that are pushing 40. But anyway, back to Steve Lovell. Gills need to take care ahead of Saturday. It's a battle of the caretaker bosses when Gillingham meet Bury at Priestfield. The Shakers sacked Lee Clark this week after a run of 4 defeats, left them 23rd in League One. 1 place and 2 points behind Gills. Ryan Lowe, player coach at the moment, but I noticed at the weekend he was tempted to put himself on the bench, didn't bother.
Yeah, I've literally just this minute watched highlights before I come out.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting whether he names himself on the bench this week. Gills could climb out of the bottom 4 with a win on Saturday, but Lovell knows it won't be easy against a Bury side out to impress. They're in a similar situation to us, aren't they? They're going to play with a little bit of freedom.
Differences for once, we're the team with momentum. And
the only thing that's, if you're going to look for a negative, is the worry is that the last time we were favourites in the game was Northampton. Sorry, that's the dog. And we didn't win. It wasn't a bad performance, not by any means, but the fact that we didn't win, we keep going to better sides, so-called big sides, and winning. And the trick now is obviously to beat Bury, and then you can say, I know we keep saying it, but then Steve Lovell's done everything that he's meant to have done, isn't he? There'll be another, what I'm saying is there'll still be a question mark over him if we can't beat another team in and around us.
On the flip side, as I said to you, I think last week, there's a lot more teams above us than there is below us.
Exactly, yeah. So we're not going to be favourites a lot, yeah. So we're going to be underdogs most of the time. But it's no good going to the Rotherhams and the Peterboroughs of this world and winning, and then letting yourselves down at home to the Northamptons, the Bury, and whoever's.
Particularly, I've got a feeling, don't we finish against Plymouth? I know it's a long time off yet, but.
Yeah, you wouldn't want too much to be riding on it. I don't think it, like you say, it's quite a way away. But interesting bit about Steve Lovell at the bottom though. Manager not keen on plying his trade elsewhere. So obviously, if journalists are thinking about it, Steve Lovell's obviously thought about it. Other clubs are going to be taking note. So if he wins on Saturday, he's won 5 out of 7 in all competitions, and he's won 3 out of 5 in the league. And we'd have won, what, 4 on the bounce?
And we're scoring goals. And
if we win on Saturday,
look a bit confident.
Would it be 4 on the bounce on Saturday if we win? Rotherham, Leyton Orient, Reading Kids, and Bury if we win at the weekend. Yeah. People are going to start taking notice. So Mr. Scally, not that stupid parody thing.
Oh God, yeah.
Absolute waste of time.
You know what's silly about it? It's Guy Butters follows it.
I see that, yeah. But I looked at his tweets and he kept tagging me and stuff, but I weren't getting notifications. So I think it's the same one who did the AD Pennant one and the ones before.
Mine's dog.
Been some absolute nonsense, but bless you. Your first shandy and all that, as long as you're enjoying yourself.
Also Lovell up for manager of the month.
Yes, 7 points from 12. Again, only the Northampton one was the disappointing one in terms of result, but it weren't a bad performance. It could have been an unbeaten month. Has it been announced yet? I'm not sure.
No, it's Tuesday, I think.
And we've got the draw for the Checkatrade trophy next round. Is it tomorrow?
They've announced today we can only play 1 of 4 teams.
Yeah, it's done weird, isn't it? Because we won the group.
So Wimbledon, there's 1 other.
And we're guaranteed a home draw, so you'd fancy that. in the current form. Young Gills go goal crazy. That's obviously in reference to Tuesday night. Sorry to keep you lads, I was just fixing the goals. A nice line from Steve Lovell as Gills caretaker boss came upstairs to talk to the press after their Checkatrade win over Reading on Tuesday night, but he quickly turned serious when it came to sitting down and talking about his final Group B match. There's your Kevin Keegans, who as managers would have loved every second of this and made no attempt to pretend otherwise. Lovell could have taken that approach and talked it up as 90 minutes of wonderful entertainment and no one would have batted an eyelid in the circumstances of what was a one-off crazy game. But he's serious about his team and the job, and after comparing it to a basketball match, he was clearly unhappy with the way that Gills have... Of course, because regardless of whether that's Gills' kids' reserves against Reading's kids' reserve, Steve Lovell at half-time, it's another tick on the CV, it's another tick off the box, and it's another win, another bit to the unbeaten run. At 4-4, suddenly he's coming massively unstuck and people are asking questions. Yeah, and then obviously there's question marks start getting asked. Again, back to the matchday live, me and Simon I think Simon described it on Twitter as utter silliness. That's literally what it was. It was just absolutely ridiculous, from the fact that the first goal went in after 15 seconds, there was a penalty miss. I don't recall either keeper making either keeper.
There was an open goal miss as well.
Elliot List.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, Connor Wilkinson done really well. This was first half, put the defender on his backside, keeper come out, made a good smothering save, and I think List was about 12 yards out with the whole goal to aim out, and he slapped it wide. I think Simon referred to him as Elliot missed on the matchday live. Again, we've said it plenty of times, it's just the next thing that's lacking. He's mentioned it in his press conference today, I think, Elliot, and said that he needs a goal, but he's more than just about pace. And I think he is. I'm not doing him a disservice here. He's been very good in the last few weeks.
We said in the summer, that literally
I said let him go, didn't we, when we did the retained list? But fair play, he got a year, and we said all right, we'll work with him, and he's getting going. You've got to remember, he's only started 13 games for the football club still, so another one who's really young. In terms of team moves for Saturday, you said you've had a look. I've missed it. I've been at work. You said that apparently Garmston and Nugent are a week away. Yeah. But Wilkinson might be fit for Saturday.
He didn't say really fit. He said he trained. So you think probably on the bench.
Indicating that it'd just be. Well, yeah, I can't see the front three changing.
I don't think that'll change much. No. I didn't know anything on Lacey, unless I've missed that. I haven't seen anything about him.
I've not seen anything about him. So I mean, it'd be nice, but we don't want to rush him back and then he ends up breaking down again. So I suppose if we're looking at a team for Saturday, the only dodgy bit's going to be. So Aymar plays with. Do we keep the fullbacks as Clare and Ogilvie and then put Luke O'Neill in the middle, or do we go to a back three and play Ogilvie, Aymar and O'Neill, and then try and get Clare up the pitch? But where would you put him in? Because you can't drop this part.
You've got to make one.
I think you keep the system like you said and just put O'Neill in the
centre. We're playing well-winning games. Don't make those changes if you're not necessarily.
Oh, interesting though, didn't it? Rotherham, he came on at left back, O'Neill, and Ogilvie tucked in. Yeah. So they might do that, but that's what I'd do. I'd keep the back four like you said, because it's been working.
I think Ogilvie's improved recently.
Yeah, he's been a lot better in the last few weeks, which is great to see. I think we said Saturday at Leighton Orient, didn't we? Is it because Garmston's, until he broke down again, but Garmston got back in the sides and there was pressure on it, he's got in. Yeah. Exactly. Last couple of lines from the match report. That wasn't the end of it with Reading going straight up the other end from a restart and Popper scoring with a fifth with a nice finish. Gillingham made it 7 when Oldacre's 25 free kick squirmed under keeper George Lee. We referred to it again on the matchday live and said that he hit it from 25 yards, but don't get too excited because the keeper had an absolute nightmare with it. Gillingham have been handed. FA Cup was obviously drawn this week. I'm happy with that. It's winnable.
As long as it's winnable.
And then you can start dreaming of your Man Uniteds, Man Cities, Liverpools, etc., Tottenham's, Arsenal's and all that sort of nonsense in the third round if we get there. And there's a little bit, it says Kent other representatives Maidstone got a draw at MK Dons, but ties are due to be played weekend of 2nd and 3rd of December with a place in the third round and a potential clash with Premier League giants at stake. Gills are in the second round for the first time since 2012-13 when they lost to Preston, following their 2-1 win over Leighton Orient.
I think Tommy Forecast played in that game, if I remember right.
Horrible goalkeeper. A little bit about Steve Lovell being nominated. Wagstaff won't dwell on FIFA-like display. We've already gone through that absolute crazy game. Fixtures this week, there's not so many. I think it's a slightly reduced one, isn't it? Because obviously there's a few League One teams. Talking of nominations though, one ex-player, Bradley Dack's been nominated for Player of the Month, which was great to see. I think he scored 3 in his last 3 games, so really seems to be finding his feet there. And it's not so bad in terms of our thing at the moment because we're playing quite well, otherwise we'd be breaking down in tears. Shouting men this week, Tom Eaves, same approach, but the bad luck's gone. It's going well for me at the moment, but I haven't changed a lot. Anyone who knows me knows I work hard off the pitch. The difference is last year at Yeovil, I hit the post and the bar about 8 times, and this year they're going in. It's fine margins. I keep working hard and it's starting to pay off, and I'm just trying to maintain this purple patch that I'm in. If you don't score, you have to contribute in other ways, and I feel I've done that too. I think he's been first class. Absolutely first class.
The other day about Love, I said, he's in Holy, along with Love, have totally proved me wrong.
Yeah, and I think Josh Parker's coming into that bracket as well for plenty, and that's going right back to when he first arrived, and we had all the, you know, what was it, come dine with me nonsense and stuff like that. Never scored a goal in England. We've referred to it previously. I think Dave, friend of the channel, Dave Miller, True Blue Jock, back tees to get the double figures. He only needs 3. Yeah. And I said Josh Parker, he only needs 5. They've got 12 between them. Sorry to, you know, refer to him, but there was a lot of people that said we were going to miss Cody McDonald this year. Well, Connor Wilkinson and Greg Cundall scored in the week.
I did see a tweet during the week. Somebody said that his perfect partner would be Cody.
It would, yeah, it probably would. Ironically,
that probably would be a really good partnership.
He's only got 1 at Wimbledon. He can't get in the side. He played in the FA Cup game, I think, that they played last weekend. I think he was shoved out to left wing, so he's clearly not first choice at the moment. I think Lyle Taylor's the first choice centre forward.
My Wimbledon mate doesn't rate him at all. Says we can have him.
Strikers don't score goals, then you're going to get. It's going to cause you a problem, and he's not scoring goals. So we're not missing him as much as. Again, right at the beginning of the season, it was easy to say because we weren't scoring, but now we're banging in a few.
Now we're actually trying.
The Reading one we take with a pinch of salt because it was against the kids' side. But right, prediction for.
One other point before you go. Liam Nash.
Gone on loan to Leatherhead, scored a Panenka last night. Ironically, so he gets sent on loan and scores the very same goal that probably earned in the contract. Yeah. But they lost, I think, didn't they, home to Folkestone 2-1. But it's just a no-brainer for me.
I think under Pennock he was in and around, weren't he? But then now since we've improved, he hasn't had a look in. But did
Pennock sign him because he thought, oh, it's a we're taking a chance and it's Cody had gone? But he's clearly not rated by Steve Lovell, and no disrespect to Adrian Pennock. Steve Lovell was a striker by trade, so he's going to know more about centre forwards than Adrian Pennock would. It makes sense. I think someone
tweeted. He goes out and just gets games and comes back and he's fighting.
Yeah, I think there was one question last night I see on social media and said, should he have gone a bit higher? But number one, there's got to be interest from higher, which there probably wasn't. No disrespect to Liam Nash at the moment. Yeah. He's not even got on the bench in the last few games. He didn't even get on Tuesday night. And you've got to go somewhere where you're getting games regular, which is what he's going to do. And he's scored, so his confidence now has immediately risen.
And I'm sure there is still a window, isn't there? Like a loan window with the.
It has to go down so far before you can start doing it outside the window. Yeah. So is it maybe that South?
Is
it regional and conference?
Middle of November, I think.
So they might not have been able to sign him.
So they would have been able to extend it or whatever after.
But he's getting games, he's getting goals. While we're talking about contracts, Sean Clare's got to be done as soon as if we've got any. We need to keep him, don't we? So anyway, score prediction, and we'll start wrapping this up.
Right, I'm going to keep my reverse psychology. We're going to lose 1-0. Wink, wink. He's working.
I'm going to try and be positive like I was last week, and I'm going to go with the same scoreline that I said on Tuesday, and I'm going to go with the same scoreline that I think I said last Saturday. I'm going to go 3-1 Gillingham. As always, thanks for doing all the usual. Thanks for all the feedback on the last match day live, which was just laughable. It was a good night out. Like I've said, 58p a goal, £7 a ticket. You can't argue, but it was one of them that I don't think I'm ever going to see in my lifetime. And until next time, up the Gills.